You don't need to be an expert thief to realize these secure and isolated places are too difficult for any cat burglar or average swindler to enter undetected. Even with innumerable resources, these residences were built to keep their owners comfortable, whether the outside world was going through a normal day or an average apocalypse. If you're not a super criminal ready to break into Fort Knox just yet, don't despair. The fine folks at the Hub will brief all of you gold fingers in the making on the most difficult homes to break into so you don't have to sneak in yourselves. And while we tiptoe around these homes, click the subscribe button. This will alert you to all the Hub's new content just waiting to intrude on your senses. Tribeca Panic Room. Since you can't build a moat around an apartment in New York City, oftentimes well-off homeowners in Manhattan will build a secure and reinforced mini hideaway. These chambers used to be referred to as safe rooms before the 2002 film Panic Room popularized its current name. The screenwriter, David Koepp, admitted he changed the name because Panic Room seemed more eye-catching. Thanks to him, that name's inspired creative hideaways for wealthy and paranoid people in cities all over the world. This includes one special room belonging to Alan Wilzig in the Manhattan neighborhood of Tribeca. With a massive townhouse in an exclusive part of town, the Wilzig family naturally has all the security amenities that people of their means would want. Household-wide alarms, motion detectors, and cameras. But the crown jewel is the master bedroom. Many panic rooms are structurally reinforced with concrete or cinder blocks, then covered up in drywall to mask it. This expansive bedroom has ultra-thin bulletproof glass and walls lined in interlaced Kevlar and steel. The entranceway easily swings open and closed like any normal door. Only don't catch your fingers in it because this one weighs around 1,500 pounds. The room alone costs upwards of $150,000. Beat that, Jodie Foster. The world's safest house. Nestled quietly in the California suburbs near the UC Berkeley is an oddly shaped house that, compared to the rest of the area, is pretty hard to miss. It's not really the type of architectural choice you'd make if you wanted to pass by unnoticed. Known as the world's safest house, the design was inspired by tardigrades, a durable microscopic water bug that can survive in extreme environments. With a grayish stucco texture, the exterior's ridge shape is filled with tubing that heats the inside of the house, while the outside remains fireproof. Invulnerable to passing brush fire, a giant flap over the entrance steers rain and wind away from the circular, crack-resistant windows. The bendable stucco light structure is enforced with cables, protecting it from earthquakes. Zai House was designed by owner Eugene Choi on top of Hayward Fault as if he was daring nature to break the house in half. But thanks to the unconventional and unbreakable design, no natural disaster or superpowered man could tear down this entirely self-sustainable residence. You need a team of looters with a lot of manpower and knowledge of recyclable housing materials to actually break into this place. We are very excited to announce the Premium Network. The Premium gets you early access to videos from The Richest, Screen Rant, The Taco, The Sportster, The Things, and many other great channels. Literally thousands of videos in one place with ad-free browsing. Check out the Premium by clicking this link. Sign up for free and start binge watching videos from your favorite channels. Trident Lakes. North of Dallas, Texas, a luxury community is popping up seemingly overnight. In the middle of this wide and expansive territory, Trident Lakes is an oasis with several lagoons 15 acres wide, a green golf course, top-notch restaurants and stores, an equestrian facility, a fountain said to be one of the highest in the world, and trails lacing through the community. Beyond these attractions is what they call a DEFCON 1 level preparedness. Translation: this whole place is ready to become a quarantine safe zone at a moment's notice. Beneath the carefully manicured landscape is an even more careful array of 400 underground condominiums large enough to accommodate 1,500 residents. With the entire outside of the property surrounded by a thick wall, the underground steel-enforced apartments range from 900 to 4,000 square feet. From here, the residents can wait out any invading post-apocalyptic army of raiders besieging their grounds by living off of a self-sustaining energy system providing heat, electricity, food, and water. Any new supplies can be delivered from the concealed helicopter pad, and the people inside can keep their families going by storing their DNA in a vault with walls thicker than surrounding condos. Try breaking into that, zombies. The Genesis. In another stroke of post-apocalyptic prepper mania, the Hardened Structures Company has created the Genesis. This lockdown home is appropriately named because if the rest of the world goes kaput, the people living in the Genesis pod will need to repopulate the Earth. On the outside, it looks like a futuristic, pill-shaped home, but it can sink underground in the face of perceived threat, allowing the entire house to serve as one big panic room. The materials with which it's constructed protect it from intense outside pressure, earthquakes, electromagnetic pulses, fire, and water. If the land land around it is partially submerged, it's also fully resistant to rust, and if the flooding gets too intense, an escape hatch is available for special emergencies. In the event of a disaster inside the pod, getting out is easy, but breaking in is impossible. With a state-of-the-art nuclear, biological, and chemical-resistant air filtration system, not even bad particles can get in, much less bad guys. With a variety of customizable pods available, you can create your own arrangement of living, dining, and sleeping pods like a life-size set of Legos. According to the company, a fiberglass dome could be added whether you want a better view of the outside world or just want to roleplay as characters from the movie that time forgot, Biodome. Greenbrier Resort. In the hills of West Virginia lies the exclusive Greenbrier Resort, which has played host to presidents and kings, captains of industry, and barons of progress. But beneath this property, on the Blue Ridge Mountains, lies a secret so exclusive not even key resort staff members knew it. On the other side of the Greenbrier's ornately decorated walls lies 3 feet of solid concrete and a vacuum-sealed space the size of a department store. Inside this mall-shaped warehouse isn't some special off-the-rack assortment clothing. Instead, there are living quarters, massive food storage compartments, anti-nuclear air filtration, and a large meeting area fit for hundreds of people and rigged with recording equipment. When the ground was first broken on the outskirts of White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, the locals were told that this was going to be a new conference center, and for the most part, that was true, except this center was designated to serve conferences of the United States Congress as their new Capitol building. In the event the Cold War with Russia went nuclear, this place was fitted with bunks for sitting members and remained secret from 1958 to 1992. Even most of the Senate, House of Representatives, and the executive and judicial branches would have been kept in the dark until the last possible moment. The Coloradoan. Colorado is known for its rough and tumble past in the history of the American West, so it's only appropriate that this home reserved would be called the Coloradoan. Unlike other places we mentioned, the Coloradoan's fire-resistant walls are coupled with double fire-resistant vents, making it extra safe from forest fires or the like. In fact, it can withstand up to 1,177 degrees of Fahrenheit thanks to its heavily insulated concrete exterior. The design of the structure is organized around a central skylight which can diffuse natural light to illuminate most of the living space. The minimal window coverage also means there's less entry points for the intruders, so if you're planning on breaking into this type of house, know that your options are limited. But if you're a nice neighbor and happen to be invited inside, you'd see a playroom and theater space ensuring that residents can enjoy some downtime while on lockdown. Beyond the perks, a more secure area includes a library and additional supplies to rebuild portions of the house following a particularly devastating disaster. With an underground space designated for a composter and water supply, residents would have enough food and drink to outlast any intruders who may try to break in from the outside. Vivos Europa 1. Billed as the world's largest private shelter, Vivos Europa 1 is the ideal place to quarantine yourself. Yet, if you don't happen to have a room in this facility at your disposal, tough luck getting inside without permission. Located in Central Europe, this private residential shelter was built by the Soviets under a 400-foot tall mountain and can withstand a nearby nuclear blast, an overhead crash from an incoming airliner, electromagnetic pulse, biological and chemical weapons, and any natural disaster you could think of. Maybe this wouldn't be the best place to try picking the lock. Instead, try befriending Zeus or some other god with the power to blow a hole in the earth before knocking on the door and asking if there's room at the inn. With both above and below ground accommodations, this 76-acre complex has warehouses, offices, and apartments connected by 3.1 miles of tunnels. Functioning as a subterranean city, a single family can buy a living space equivalent to a 2-story house. Membership to this private club grants you a private kitchen, 3 bedrooms, and access to a gym and pool. With a small army of security personnel at your disposal, you can easily keep unwanted visitors out. Survival Condo. A Kansas development company turned the Atlas missile silo into a series of luxury condos. At 20,000 square feet, this vertical cylinder has the space equivalent of a mega mansion and extends deep into the ground. As such, any intruders intent on gaining a legal membership to this community needs to start digging and bring along a high-powered drill to pierce the thick outer shell of the complex. Intent on building a community, the Survival Condo Company is building an indoor pool with water slide, spa, and fitness center, a bar and lounge, a library and classroom area, a fully stocked first aid area, and a movie theater. All of this is controlled by a central command station which monitors the weather, power levels, and communication with the outside world. 75,000 gallons of water stored on site, as well as the capability to organically reproduce food. The people on the inside don't need to interact with the people on the outside all that often. Outside of that, interested buyers can choose apartments large enough for families of anywhere from 5 to 10 people. Covered with a monolithic dome capable of withstanding 500-mile-per-hour winds, you couldn't blow this place down if you tried. Katsky Pillar. Sure, all these doomsday preppers have the means to keep themselves safe from disaster, but they're not as isolated as the monks living on Katsky Pillar. This ancient monastery is perched atop a long, thin protrusion of rock, an island in the sky, only accessible by a 131-foot-long ladder. The Georgian church is occupied by only one man, a 59-year-old monk named Maxime Kavtaradze. And in the event you tried to get atop the pillar uninvited, Maxime would just have to remove the ladder to make your job 1,000 times more difficult. Yeah, you could try scaling the treacherous rocks yourself, but there aren't many previous examples of climbers ascending this rock in the past. Before Kavtaradze called this place his home, explorers last set foot on the pillar in 1944 when they discovered the untouched bones of a monk who had been left there for 600 years. After serving time in prison for drug dealing, Kavtaradze reformed himself, taking holy vows and following the tradition of other stylites, men who took up life in high and remote locations to remove themselves from everyday sins. So if you're looking to sin, find somewhere else. If you want to break into faith though, this stylite will probably welcome you in. Petite Saint Vincent. If you're looking to hide yourself away, the best place to go off the grid would be Petite Saint Vincent. This 2-mile-long Caribbean island has access to its own produce and fresh water, gathered, stored, and purified from local rainfall. The inhabitants of this small island have had to be resourceful when fighting nearby governments so they can remain independent, or when smuggling fuel from Venezuela to power the island. With a staff of 100 scrappy individuals populating the island's resort, they will gladly welcome anyone willing to spend around $1,000 a night, but the staff will also be quick to secure the place if they need to go on lockdown. Any enemies approaching the island by boat would need to be extremely careful about their route, since it's surrounded by treacherous coral reefs. Known for pirate activity, the reefs surrounding the island have made it nearly impossible for any unwelcome intruders to land on shore. Since the odds of sneaking onto this Petite Saint Vincent are slim, why not just build a big hill of sand around your house, flood the surrounding area, and make an island of your own? We hope you've enjoyed touring the most difficult homes to break into. These real-life fortresses can be just as impenetrable and fantastic as the ones from the movies. With the Hub as your guide, we'll always be here to show you the world's craziest, weirdest, and most secret places. See you again soon!